I don't even want to delay talking about this chapter, so let's get into it. Chapter 1078, Escape Limit. So we start off with the cover spread with Caesar and Judge. They have made up and now they are the new Neo-Mads. And it's kind of interesting to see how this era progressed. I want to see where they had the falling out and what actually they were able to accomplish during their time as the Neo-Mads. But onto the chapter. We start off with Stussy informing Sentomaru about what Kizaru's up to and what the plan is. Stussy has confirmed that Vegapunk was continuing the work of Ohara and trying to decipher the poneglyphs, and the government caught wind of this, and this is why Egghead Island is under attack now. So this is a greater threat than Ohara was. Sentomaru then instructs the civilians of Egghead Island to leave because this is going to be a Buster Call situation and he doesn't want them to get caught up in this. And we go back to Frankie with the Boa Seraphim. And Frankie, for some reason, has his right side completely safe. It's not frozen solid. I'm not sure how we stop the process of being solidified. But he's trying to tell Boa Seraphim that if you behave and release all my friends, then we'll go easy on you. But Boa's not really that dumb. And she sees Pythagoras and she's like, I'm going to destroy this Vegapunk variant. But it's kind of off screen. We don't know if she actually was able to step on Pythagoras, but there's an explosion. It could be from Pythagoras or it could be from something else going on in Egghead Island, but it stopped the Boa Hancock Seraphim in her tracks. And then we pan away to Robin, Chopper, and Atlas, and they're on their way to go see if they can find the real Vegapunk in that basement little area and save him, because they know that they're not going to take on any Seraphim, so they're just going to hunt and find the real Vegapunk. We also get to go back to Sanji and Nami's group versus Jinbei, and Nami is holding Edison. I guess Edison got hurt in some of the crossfire, and Brook has gone into his ghost form. He's going to go look for Vegapunk through the walls. And then we see Sanji versus Jinbei, and Jinbei punches Sanji straight on, and he's just unaffected. So it's kind of cool that the full Vince Smoke bloodline has kind of transcended over to Sanji. His fight's going to be way more interesting because things are not going to hurt him that much anymore because he's not even human. He's a German soldier. Then we go back to Zoro, Luffy, and the gang, and the Mihawk Seraphim has disappeared. So Zoro's just like, I'm going to go find him. And Luffy's just like, hey, Usopp, calling Kaku Usopp just because of the long nose. Hey, go with Zoro because he gets lost very easily. And Lucci and Luffy's just keep taking on the Seraphim of Kuma, but the flames on his back never turns off, and the only way they can hurt him is when the flames are gone. But I definitely want to see if Luffy uses his Conqueror's Haki, if he can supersede that rule, just because Conqueror's coding is so potent to pretty much everything in this world. And then Oda does his famous incident kind of text boxes where he's talking about how we have a little backstory 3 months ago that in the Holy Land of Merijawa, they had already kind of had some research and some leads that Dr. Vegapunk was investigating the contents of the Void Century, but every time they sent someone to come look at it, they would never find anything, any research pertaining to the Void Century. And then any ship that would leave Egghead Island would just disappear, so none of them returned. They lost CP7 and CP8 whenever they tried to leave Egghead Island, and I'm not sure if that's Vegapunk who was doing that on purpose. I don't think it was, just because he wasn't sure that these people were trapped with him. He was like, I have no recollection of actually even knowing you guys to even leave the island. So it's probably the traitor that kept them all captive. That's when Merijawa and the Five Elders sent out Rob Lucci and CP0 to go hunt down and figure out what's going on at Egghead Island, but to also assassinate Vegapunk. And then the text bubbles say that, however, unexpectedly, the ship of an Emperor Straw Hat Luffy showed up, and with such an unforeseen development, the government steadily grew uneasy. So in any case, the outcome of this incident on the following day would give the entire world an unthinkable shock. So this is going to be a famous, great cutaway. We're going to cut away from probably this story to something else in the verse, but I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't really know what the unthinkable shock could be unless Straw Hat's beating admirals and taking Vegapunk and getting some kind of useful information, or Vegapunk has something up his sleeve that will shock the world, maybe leaking information, because he did talk about that Neuralink, how he wants to link everyone's brains together. So he's in his dying state, so he Neuralinks with the people across the world and shares what happened at Uhara, as well as maybe some information about the poneglyphs, and this would send shockwaves through the world government and have lasting repercussions. So this arc has so many possibilities for what it can go for, but I think that route would be really great for the world building and just to see the distrust in the Marines. We then get to the traitor. Whenever the traitor comes down, Vegapunk is very surprised, saying, why are you doing this? And it turns out that it's York. York is that Vegapunk variant that's kind of a baddie, so it sucks that she's the traitor, but she is saying that I'm going to be a celestial dragon. So just by giving you guys up and doing what the world government has, they're going to make me a celestial dragon. And then also, I think there's too many Vegapunks. I think this world would be way better off with one Vegapunk. So this is dangerous because now I understand why the world government is so ready to kill Vegapunk, because they have another one at the ready. Assuming York has all the shared knowledge from the current Vegapunk and all the other variants, then it doesn't matter if they kill the other 5 or 6 Vegapunks as long as one of them lives and one that they can control. York is one that can be controlled, and for some reason, even after seeing all the horrors at Marijoa, wants to become a celestial dragon. So all these Vegapunks have their own personality that differ from the main. They don't follow the main, and it's very interesting to see that York is just so obsessed with politics and status of this world, especially with Vegapunk, who has linked all their minds together, so they kind of already know how they feel on celestial dragon, and York is just like, no, this is still what I want to do, and this is who I want to be. I also think that seeing some of the horrors of this world makes you want to be a higher up, just because we're about to see Kuma's backstory fully, and maybe York has seen that and has seen what it means to be a slave and doesn't want to get anywhere near that, and she's always just desired a life of luxury, and she's just really greedy, so it kind of fits with that kind of character. But seeing what's going to happen with this and what the world government's going to do just through this incident, and how Oda has hyped this up as an incident that will shock the world, is setting up this arc to be way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a short little side arc, but I'm very excited to see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. What do you guys think about the traitor, and what do you guys think about what Oda is doing to set up Egghead Island? And let me know what you guys thought about the chapter in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.